Hey everyone, Hector here, and I want to talk about Nosleep, particularly some of my favorite Nosleep stories. And I thought, what better way to talk about Nosleep than from the film perspective? So I'm going to be talking about 5 of my favorite Nosleep horror stories. So for anyone that doesn't know, Nosleep is a subreddit where people talk about some of their terrifying personal experiences. Everyone in the comments treats the stories like they are real. Sometimes some posts will turn into series, but usually the original poster will have a one-off. Nosleep stories are not to be confused with creepypastas. I feel like Nosleep has been able to stand the test of time where creepypastas couldn't, and that's with the Reddit community. It has really made it interactive and gave the stories an audience. But that's a dialogue for another time. Nosleep stories usually have a payoff near the end, and it's always great getting to that last paragraph and having the payoff hit you square in the jaw. I know we had The Stairs last year, but that movie was trash, and it was loosely based on Search and Rescue Woods. But other than that, nothing really comes to mind that's been adapted from Nosleep. Anyways, let's get to the stories. First, we have the story of the woman holding an orange. This story is about a man who moved to the United States and carries kind of a curse with him. When he was younger in Eastern Europe, his mom friend would visit him late at night. And it's not what you're thinking. These visits were of the terrifying variety. You see, she would stand outside his window, grinning ear to ear with an unbreakable stare, while holding an orange with both of her hands, waiting for him to take it. This happens multiple times and even during the day until he finally decides to move to the United States. He is stalker free for 7 years until he comes across something in the mail. In the envelope, there's a photo of him with the words, "You come with me now." These are the words that the woman holding the orange would say to him. So the story begs the question, what happens if you take the orange? I feel like this story would make a great film because it is a series, it has a lot to play with, and it has enough story to fill in. The scares and revelations are spaced out and are a good outline for a horror flick. And if they keep the ending, it packs a powerful punch. Next we have Pen Pal. This is what put Nosleep on the map. This was another series that captivated the subreddit for some time. The story is about a man relaying horrifying events from his childhood, and they all tie in from an instance from when he was in kindergarten. You see, he and his class made pen pal letters and tied them to balloons and let them go off. Ever since that moment, this kid has been stalked throughout his childhood. One event in particular where the kid fell asleep in his bed only to wake up in the woods behind his house, implying that he was carried there. Pen Pal is so good, and if you haven't checked it out, you definitely should. So this one had talks in the past of becoming a feature-length film, but it's been about 3 or 4 years and there has been no movement. So I think it's safe to say that it's dead at this point in time. That's not going to stop me from wanting it to become a film. So the story spans over multiple moments throughout the original poster's childhood, and the only way I can really see that translating to film is through flashbacks. So having the protagonist recall the events in present day is probably the best way to approach this, in my opinion. And this is another series, so it definitely has enough to make a feature-length film. If anything, they may cut some stuff out because there's a lot in here. Next we have Something Walks Whistling Past My House Every Night at 3:03. The title speaks for itself. The story follows a 13-year-old boy who's trying to make sense of whistling between the hours of 3:03 to 3:05. It evolves into a ritualistic / is this town in on it type of story with a through line of whatever you do, don't look at whatever's making that whistling noise. And it comes to the point where the original poster is put in a situation where they may come face to face with the entity that is making that noise. It's really well done and it leaves you at the edge of your seat. I really think this would make a great film. It is on the shorter side. That's the only thing that's working against it. It's a good concept as well. So if they were to just take the concept and run with it, I think that would be good as well. The terror in the story is done so well, and I think it'll translate to film as well. Next we have My Dead Girlfriend Keeps Messaging Me. This Nosleep story has always stuck with me. It's probably my favorite because it comes with evidence. That's right, we have screenshots of the conversation between the original poster and his dead girlfriend. So when he first gets the messages, he thinks that it's his girlfriend's mom that's accessing her account. But after that he rolls that out, he starts thinking that it's a hacker of some kind, or maybe someone playing a cruel joke. That is until he begins to experience things in his real life. That includes his dead girlfriend's account tagging itself on some new photos he's been posting in areas of the photo where she would normally be. It comes to a head where the original poster gets a message with a photo that will surely send a chill down your spine. This Nosleep story is so good, and it could definitely translate over to film. You can direct it as an unfriended or searching type of movie, all coming from his laptop or computer, and there's definitely enough here to make a feature-length film. Technology in horror has always meshed well. Movies like The Ring, Shudder, Pulse, and I think My Dead Girlfriend Keeps Messaging Me will fit in perfectly. Next we have 630-296-7536. This story is what got me into the subreddit, Nosleep. The buzz around this story was so awesome, especially because it has an interactive element, and we'll get more into that later. But this element made it ahead of its time. So the story is about a guy who recently moved and is still trying to get things in order at the new place. He gets a call and answers it thinking it's his plumber, but it's no plumber. It's a woman on the line saying that she is his operator and wants to know if he wants to set up a remodeling for someone. He ponders for a bit what this could be. Is this some type of joke? So he says his ex-girlfriend's name. The operator then tells him to keep an ear out for a courtesy call. Later on, he gets that call, only to hear his ex-girlfriend in distress and her last breaths. He's then told that he is set up for remodeling, and the only way to reschedule is to spread the word of Booth World Industries. They are looking for new members, and that's where the phone number comes in. Because when you call, you become a member. Why I think this could be made into a film is the world building in particular. I can see something along the lines of John Wick, but horror. It's definitely something I want to see explored, an underworld of a company that somehow has a supernatural type element, or maybe Big Brother type of vibe. I feel like there's so many directions someone can go. In the right hands, this could be an awesome project. So you guys might be wondering, what happens if you dial that number? Let's find out.
You have reached Booth World Industries. Your number has been logged and traced. A service representative will be with you shortly for remodeling. We at Booth World Industries say thanks. You have a marvelous day.
And then I guess you can leave a message. But yeah, just that interactive element alone just takes this story up a notch. Well, alright everyone, those were 5 Nosleep stories that I think would make great films. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button, and until next time.